In this video, I'll help you get started with 1.3 1.4 skills practice, covering the distributive property and simplifying expressions. I'll be going through the odds, and it'll be up to you to try the evens. For each of these, we're going to simplify each expression completely. When we're simplifying expressions, what we're trying to do is combine like terms. And what like terms mean is that they have the same base and the same exponent. So here I have 2x plus 8x. Both of these have a base of x, and the exponent would just be to the first power. So if I have 2x's plus 8x's, yes, those are like terms and they can be combined. 2 plus 8 is 10. And you keep the variable. Going to take a look at number 3 now. 2x squared plus 6x squared. So once again, you want to check the base and the exponent. Here I have x squared and x squared. These are like terms, so I'm going to add these coefficients together. 2x squared plus 6x squared gives me 8x squared. Looking at number 5, I have 3y squared minus 2y plus 6y. Here I have 3 different terms. I have y squared, y, and y. I can only combine like terms, so these 2 y terms can be simplified or combined, but the first term, 3y squared, is going to stay the same. So I'm just going to drop it down, 3y squared, and I'm going to combine negative 2 plus 6. Negative 2 plus 6 is a positive 4, so I'm going to write plus 4y. Next I have 3 times the quantity, 8 minus 2x. Because I have a parentheses, I want to look inside and see if there's anything I can do to simplify. But the 8 is a constant. It has no variable, no base. And then I have minus 2x, which has a base of x. So these actually are not like terms, and I can't simplify at all. But what I can do is I can simplify this expression, because this 3 on the outside, what this means is that I have 3 8 minus 2 x's. I have 3 of these things in the parentheses. So what that means is I have 3 8's, and I also have 3 negative 2 x's. So I can pass out the 3 by multiplication and simplify this expression. So I have 3 times 8, which is 24. And then I have 3 times, keep in mind this is a negative 2, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and we keep the x. So the expression simplifies to 24 minus 6x, and that's the simplest form, because 24 and 6x are not like terms. I'm going to take a look at number 9. I have 1/4 times 12 minus 4t. So once again, I want to check inside the parentheses and see if there's anything I can do to simplify. But 12 and negative 4t are not like terms, so I can't actually simplify within the parentheses. But I do have a 1/4 on the outside, and what that means is I have 1/4 times this entire thing. So I can actually distribute that 1/4 by multiplication to the coefficients inside the parentheses. When we multiply a fraction by a whole number, you can actually think of it as division. I'm just going to put this off to the side. But what's happening here is I have 1/4 times 12. You can rewrite 12 as 12 over 1. When we multiply fractions, we multiply the tops together and then the bottoms together. So what I end up with is 12 over 4, and then 12 divided by 4 simplifies to 3. So when I do this in my head, I think of 1/4 as kind of like divide by 4. So 1/4 times 12, well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. and I just found that out over here. And then I have 1/4 times negative 4. So I think of that as 1/4, negative 4 divided by 4, which is a negative 1, and then we keep the t. Let me write that out over here in case I lost you. So 1/4 times negative 4, we can write that as negative 4 over 1. We multiply the tops together and the bottoms together. On top I get 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. On bottom I get 4 times 1, which is 4. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. That's how I got 3 minus 1t. And really, this 1 here is optional. You could write it also as 3 minus t. You can see it either way, and either way is fine. On number 11, I have 2 times the quantity 3x plus 2y minus z. The first thing I always want to do is look inside the parentheses, see if anything can simplify. Well, I have an x, a y, and a z. Those are not like terms, so there's nothing I can do on the inside. But I have 2 of these 3x plus 2y minus z's, so I can simplify further by distributing the 2. That means that I have 2 of everything, so I'm going to pass out that 2 by multiplying, and I can simplify further. So I have 2 times 3x, which is 6x, 2 times 2y gives me a positive 4y, and 2 times negative z, this is like a negative 1, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and you keep the z. Once again, I've got an x, y, and a z. Those cannot be combined, so this is my final answer. Taking a look at number 13, I have 8 times the quantity 2x minus 3 minus 6x. So this is something new. We first want to look inside the parentheses as usual and see if we can simplify. I have a 2x minus a plain 3. So I actually can't simplify because these are not like terms. But I notice that I have 8 of these. So what that means is I have 8 2x's and I have 8 negative 3's. So I can pass out that 8. But this negative 6, notice that it's not attached. This negative 6 is on its own. It's not part of the parentheses. So I cannot and should not distribute the 8 because there are not 8 of these. That's a misconception that a lot of people have. They go ahead and distribute it, but it can't be distributed. The negative 6 is just going to drop down. So I'm going to multiply 8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And then I drop down the negative 6x. I want to check and see if I can simplify further. I have 16x minus 24 minus 6x. Well, I have 2 terms that have an x. So yes, I can combine these. I have a 16 and a negative 6. So 16 minus 6 is 10x. And then this negative 24 just drops down. These are not like terms, so this is completely simplified. Last, we're going to do number 15. I have 8 times the quantity 4w minus 7 minus the quantity 2w plus 1. I'm going to look within this first parentheses first and see if there's anything I can do to simplify. 4w minus 7, those are not like terms, so I can't simplify. Next, I'm going to look in these parentheses. I have 2w plus 1. Once again, I've got a w and a plain number. Nothing can simplify. So then I want to see if I can distribute. Well, here I have 8 4w minus 7's. So what that means is I have 8 4w's and I have 8 times negative 7. I do not want to distribute this over here to the other parentheses because it's not connected. This is something tricky you want to look out for. Here I have a negative in front of this one. What this means, the best way to think about this is a negative, we have like a -1 out in front. So what we need to do, if I have a -1 out in front here, actually what's happening is this needs to be distributed to everything within this parenthesis because I have negative of these. You can think of it in a couple ways. You've got -2w plus 1, so you have to pass that out, or you could think of it as -1 when we multiply. So that's something you have to remember if there's a negative out in front, and I'll give you a heads up on the even one here. You have a -5. So when you pass that out, you're just going to pass out the -5. So over here, we're going to distribute twice. So first, I'm just going to focus my attention on this first one. So I'm just looking right here. I'm going to ignore the rest. So I have 8 times 4w. 8 times 4 is 32. Keep the w. Then I have 8 times -7. 8 times 7 is 56. And that's a -56. Next, I'm going to look at the second parenthesis with the -1. So I have -1 times 2w, so I get -2w. And I have -1 times +1, which is -1. Now that I've distributed everything that I can, I want to see if I can combine any like terms. Well, if you notice, I have 32w, and then I also have a -2w. Those have the same base, same exponent, so I can combine these terms. So I have 32 minus 2 gives me 30w. And then you may also notice that I have a -56, whoops. I have a -56 and a -1. These are both constant terms. They have no variable, so I can combine them. -56 minus 1 is -57. These terms cannot combine, so this is our final answer.